Ladies and gentlemen, gather around and prepare yourselves for a tale of intrigue, laughter, and also very confused developers. Picture this. A wild stampede of programmers, coding wizards, and pixel enthusiasts running amok as they were being chased by an army of angry bugs. What could have possibly caused a chaos, you ask? Well, none other than the infamous Electronic Arts, the master of game development and the art of oops, we shut you down. In this trash comic spectacle, we shall unveil a list, a veritable graveyard, if you will, of developers who found themselves on the wrong end of EA's merciless acts. Oh, the stories we shall tell. Picture the collective sigh of disappointment and the melodramatic gasps echoing through the halls of those unlucky studios as they were sentenced to the abyss of game development history. For we shall approach this list with a sparkle of humor, a dash of irony, and a whole lot of appreciation for those brave souls who dared to create. I am Professor Retro, and I present the list of developers killed off by EA. If you were a gamer back in the late 80s and early 90s, you played games like Dungeon Keeper and Populish, then chances are you heard of Bullfrog Productions. Founded by Les Edgar and Peter Molyneux in 1987, they had a partnership with EA until EA acquired them in 1995, and Molyneux soon became the vice president of the European studios. Until 96, when he left upset over the position he had. Really? He had hated the position? Thus making Edgar VP until 99 when he stepped down. However, after they tried to make a third sequel to Dungeon Keeper and failed, Bullfrog merged with EA UK, thus killing Bullfrog off. If you ever played any of the Command & Conquer games, you know of the next victim of EA, Westwood Studios, known for the hit Command & Conquer series, and made a killing with it. However, the success caught the eye of EA, and EA acquired them that same year. However, the failure of Command & Conquer Renegade failed, EA then shut them down. If you ever played NBA Streets or NBA Live, then you heard of EA's next victim, NoFX. EA published 15 of NoFX games before EA cut off their life support and merged them into EA Chicago in 2004. However, EA shut them down a few years later, not for bad sales, but because NoFX was an expendable asset. If you ever played any of the Ultima series back in the day, you knew of Origin Systems. Started by brothers Richard and Robert Gerhardt in '83, Origin is noted for laying the groundwork for what is now known as the MMORPG genre. However, after Ultima Access became a massive success, EA acquired them in '92 and decided to make Origin an online-only company, and due to a horrible start foreshadowing their own downfall, EA pulled the plug in 2004. If you loved the Need for Speed series in the 2000s, chances are you know of Black Box Games. Founded by former members of Radical Entertainment in 1998 and was soon acquired by EA in 2002 and renamed EA Black Box. In 2008, Black Box was moved to Canada and changed their name to Quick Line Games in 2012, and then later that year EA closed Black Box down. Mystic Entertainment is what happened when Adventures Unlimited Software, an interesting system, was merged in '95, and their biggest hit was the MMORPG The Dark Age of Camelot. However, with Blizzard's massively popular MMORPG World of Warcraft, or WoW, EA acquired Mystic in 2006 to try to compete. Things seemed all good with the MMORPG Warhammer Online Age of Reckoning, but with Dungeon Keeper's failure in 2014, EA killed off Mystic Entertainment. This one started as Headgate Studios in '92, creating golf games until they were renamed EA Salt Lake, and soon any game featuring Tiger Woods became a massive hit. Things started to go downhill in 2012, and in 2014 the studio had some massive layoffs, and soon they focused on mobile games, and by 2017 EA Salt Lake was no more. If you played SimCity, you've heard of the next one, Maxis Software. Yes, SimCity was a big success for Maxis, but due to a series of losses, they were soon bought in '97. However, Maxis bounced back up with the success of The Sims, however with the massive failure that was Spore in 2008. Maxis was on death's door and their main studio was shut down, like a vulture, EA scooped up what was left and bought it over to EA Mobile. One of the recent victims of EA was Visceral Games, makers of the Dead Space franchise. They were the first ones to attempt to put a free-to-play element in their fully priced games. However, Bethesda was working in a massively hyped Star Wars game when EA decided to end them once and for all. Rumor was the game had a ton of issues. Now, like the others on this list, I tend to side with EA on this one. Instead of delaying the game's release to fix bugs, just shut the development down. We now have come to the end of this with Pandemic Studios, well known for Star Wars Battlefront franchise. However, a decade later, with the success of Battlefront games, it still wasn't enough to revive Pandemic, and they were shut down in 2009, laying off over 200 employees. And that wraps up our list of developers EA shut down. We hope you enjoyed this bittersweet journey through the world of gaming casualties. Remember, in this fast-paced realm of gaming development, 1 minute you're coding away, and the next minute, well, you're searching for a new gig. And with that, I'm Professor Retro reminding you to mash that like button, ring that bell, and smash that subscribe button so you get the heads up when my next video is up. Class dismissed, peace out, stay frosty, and game on.